It is our duty to fight for our freedom. It is our duty to win. We must love each other and support each other. We have nothing to lose but our chains. This is a quote from the late and great Assata Shakur, a political activist.
So understood that part of struggling is learning, is studying. And my own experiences in the 60s led me to understand that it wasn't just enough to ask for a piece of the pie.
A poet.
And we're not simply talking about a formal notion of freedom of speech. And those who would call for the right to speak freely in order to openly prevent others from having rights and liberties that are guaranteed them by the Constitution. I mean, I think that is a contradiction in terms.
And a fugitive with a $2 million bounty on her head.
On Thursday, she became the first woman ever to make the FBI's most wanted terrorist list. In addition, the FBI in the state of New Jersey doubled the reward for her capture to $2 million. Shakur was convicted in the May 2nd, 1973 killing of a New Jersey state trooper during a shootout that left one of her fellow activists dead.
Assata Shakur was born Joanne Chesmar on July 16, 1947 in New York City. In 1970, she joined the Black Panther Party, an organization founded on the principle of black nationalism and Marxist-Leninist ideology, and led its Harlem chapter. She would leave the party 1 year later, however, citing that the members lacked knowledge and understanding of African American history. Shakur joined the Black Liberation Army, a more militant offshoot of the Black Panther Party akin to the Viet Cong of Vietnam, operating a guerrilla tactics campaign against the US government. In 1971, she began using the name Assata Uababla Shakur, claiming it sounded so strange when people called me Joanne. It really had nothing to do with me. I did not feel like no Joanne, or no Negro, or no American. I felt like an African woman. Assata is a West African name derived from Aisha, said to mean she who struggles. Shakur means thankful one in Arabic, and Abu Bala means savior in Yoruba. Throughout her years in the Black Liberation Army, she was arrested and monitored many times by state police departments and the FBI, though being acquitted and never charged with anything. Robert Dale, former deputy commissioner of the New York City Police, described her as the final wanted fugitive, the soul of the gang, the mother hen who kept them together, kept them moving, kept them shooting. However, on May 2nd, 1973, Shakur, along with Zaid Makal Shakur and Sunadad Akul, were stopped on the New Jersey Turnpike in East Bushwick by State Trooper James Harper for driving with a broken tail light. The police ordered Assata and Zaid to put their hands on their laps and not move. Harper said that Assata reached down to the right of her right leg, pulled out a pistol, and shot him in the shoulder, after which he retreated behind his vehicle. Though evidence for this claim is fragile at best, as most medical professionals agree, she was shot in a way that suggests she had her hands up, and the US government has never once framed a black person ever. Between the years of 1973 and 1977 in New York and New Jersey, Assata Shakur was indicted 10 times, resulting in 7 different criminal trials. Of these trials, 3 resulted in acquittments, 1 in a hung jury, 1 in change of venue, 1 in mistrial due to pregnancy, and 1 in a conviction. On November 2nd, 1979, Shakur escaped the Clinton Correctional Facility for Women in New Jersey with the help of 3 members of the Black Liberation Army, after which she would live in hiding for 5 years until being granted political asylum in Cuba and appointing herself the well-earned epithet, 21st century escaped slave. You may ask me, why is this important? But I think it's important to remember that a terrorist only means a person against the state. Thus, the label is only as valid as the state they are against. And to determine how value a state is, you must first look at how they treat their people, for that is the purpose of a nation.